Okay, guys, so here are the last few questions that y'all missed. I'm going to do 29 through 33. Some classes got past 29, some classes are at 29. So when you're working 29, the line below passes through the points -2, -4, and 3, 5. They gave you a graph, and it says which of these equations best represent a line parallel to the line of this graph. This graph you're more than welcome to use, but all you need to know are those 2 points, and if you plug it in to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 and change your double negatives, that gives you 9 over 5, which cannot simplify. And if we're talking about a parallel slope, I want the exact same slope. So when you look down here at your answer choices, let me zoom out just a little bit. So when you look down here at your answer choices, that's not the correct slope, that's not the correct slope, that's not the correct slope. The only correct slope is D. So you have your answer. Okay. For 30, there's 2 ways you can do this. You have a table of values for a linear function as shown below. Determine the slope of a line represented by the values in the table. You can do the stat edit in the calculator and come up with your whole equation and then just tell me the slope. Or what you can do is you can pull out 2 easy points and do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we'd be doing 7 minus 1, those are your y's, over 3 minus -6, which are your x's. I would change my double negative, and that gives me 6 over 9, which simplifies to 2/3, and that makes my answer C. Okay, for 34, you're looking at your line. Okay, on your line, they say, what is the slope of a line perpendicular to the line of the graph below? So the first thing that you need to find out is your slope. Well, I can see a point here and I can see a point here. So I'm going to find my slope. My slope is 1, 2, 3, down 4, and it's 1, 2, 3 to the right. And if I want perpendicular slope, you must take the opposite reciprocal. So I change the sign and flip the fraction. So my answer is H. For 32, now I have this graph where they already have points on it. They say a savings account balance can be modeled by the graph of the linear function shown on the grid. What is the rate of change of the balance with respect to the number of deposits? Rate of change is just a fancy word for slope. So I'm going to pick any 2 of these dots. So I'm going to start right here at this one that says 50, and I'm going to rise to the next dot. And when I rise, I have to use their scale, and their scale is counting by 50, so I'm rising 100. And when I run, it's only running over 1, and their scale is 1, so it's over 1. So my slope is $100 per deposit, so it's A. For 33, the graph below illustrates the cost for renting a cab at the yellow cab company and the blue cab company. So there's my lead. So what is the rate of change? And remember, rate of change is just a fancy word for slope. What's the rate of the change of the cost with respect to the number of miles for the yellow cab company? So y'all need to look at your key. Okay, your key says that the yellow cab company is this solid line. So we're only looking at the solid line. I don't care about the dotted line. So I'm going to find 2 points, which there's 2 points right there. And I'm going to rise. And their scale is counting by 2. So I didn't rise 2. I rose 4. And then I'm going to run, and their scale is again counting by 2, so I didn't run 1, I ran 2, and 4 over 2 can simplify to 2. So my answer is G. Okay, I'm going to post this video, and then I'll have my answer key attached so you can check all the answers, and if you have any questions, just send me an email or ask a question early in the morning. Have a great day.